and prime my face, and today I'm using the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. It's probably my favorite go-to primer. It just leaves my face feeling really smooth and it fills in all my pores. It is not a pore primer, but I do really like it because I don't have large pores, so it makes my makeup apply very smoothly. I'm then going to go in and do my brows, of course, and today I'm using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. It's my favorite. It's honestly a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills pencil. At a fraction of the cost. It's about $9.99, and I think the Anastasia one is about $22. Try it out. I love it. You can get it at Ulta. Pretty much anywhere that sells NYX will have the brow pencil. Then I'm going to go in with the NYX color correcting palette and do underneath my eyes with the salmon color. I'm going to be using a E60 large shader brush from Sigma. It's not exactly what the brush is used for, but if you know your brushes, you can get away with using it for this. I just kind of smooth it out underneath the eyes, and then I'm going to use a Real Techniques Beauty Blender that's damp to smooth it all out. It's my favorite technique for applying this kind of product. It just makes your under eyes really bright, and this product is super smooth. So you can go out and buy really expensive ones from all the brands have a color correcting, but if you're just gonna do small light color correcting, I suggest the NYX palette because it's really cheap and it works just as well, I promise. And apparently I'm dancing to whatever music was playing in the background. Alright, so next I'm going to go in with my foundation, and today I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Foundation. This is the dewy formula. I'm a little dry, so I like the dewy over the matte, but the matte is a really nice formulation too. I am in shade 120. It's a little dark for me, but it matches my body, so I will just draw it down the neck a little bit. I just apply even dots all over my face of it so that I can get an even coverage, and then I use the Real Techniques Beauty Blender to just blend it out. Blend. You always want to blend and have a seamless finish. Just blend until you can't blend anymore. I can't stress that enough, and I also can't stress enough that you do not rub with the Beauty Blender. You want to pat it as much as possible, and then when you draw it down the neck, you can rub a little bit, but still in a patting motion. And if only I could blend this fast. Then dancing. Dance away. Have fun while you're doing your makeup. It should be fun, not stressful. So as you can see, I just blend and blend. Pull it down the neck so you match your neck color. And then after this step, I'm going to go in and highlight and conceal. And today I'm using, again, the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. And I'm in shade 10. I highlight underneath my eyes, my chin, my nose, and a little bit on my forehead. It's basically the T-zone area. I want it to be bright and stand out more. And then I'm also going to use the Real Techniques Beauty Blender with this as well to blend it all out and make sure that there's no harsh lines, and you don't want any creases in your concealer. So if you blend it out with the damp Beauty Blender, you shouldn't have any creases. Next I'm going to go in with the Kat Von D Shade in the Light palette. This is the contour palette she has. It's amazing. I'm going to be using the center powder. It's a banana powder. I'm pretty sure it's called Lyric. I also use Lucid sometimes. I'm also going to be using the Kat Von D Shade in Light brush. It doesn't come with the palette, it's sold separately, but it is an amazing brush and I recommend it. Again, you want to pat the powder into those fine lines and creases, so just kind of the same way you do with the Beauty Blender, pat it in. I pat it underneath my eyes, I put a little on my chin and my nose. Wherever I highlighted, that's where I'm going to put the powder. Just want to make sure you don't have any of those creases. That's what the powder does. Then I'm going to go in with the MAC bronzer in Golden. It seems to be my perfect shade. It's my go-to. I use it all the time. Whenever I try something else, I always go back to it. I'm going to just use a BH Cosmetics. It's just a fluffy brush. I don't know the name of it, but I will try and link it down below for you. I do it on the top, on my forehead, on the outside edges, and then I do my cheeks. I'm not contouring with this. I'm just kind of bronzing up my cheekbones a little bit. On days when I don't contour, this is all I do. But today I am going to contour a little bit as well. This just gives my face some color. I'm going to make the duck face while doing it. Want to get those lines right. Don't want it to be too low on the face. Then I just take a large, fluffy duo fiber brush. This is from Sigma, but you can use any duo fiber brush, and I just blend it out. I want to make sure there's no harsh lines, and the powder just blends seamlessly into my foundation. Then I'm going to be using the Benefit Cheekathon palette, and I'm going to be using their famous Hula color. It's an amazing bronzer, and it's an amazing contour color. It's usually what I use to contour. I'm also going to be using the Shade and Light palette, or brush again, and I use the contour side. You just want to make sure you find those cheekbones. So if you have to do the fish face, duck face, whatever you want to call it, it does help. Just make sure you chisel those cheekbones out. Don't worry, when you do this, it will look harsh, but if you take a dual fiber brush again and blend it out, it will look amazing. So don't worry. Just blend, blend, blend. Again, blending is your best friend. You always want to blend. Blend out that foundation. Blend out that powder. And blend out that eyeshadow. That is the key to eyeshadow. Always blend. And blend up when you're doing your contour. Never blend down. You always want to make those cheekbones look as high as possible, so blend up when you do this. Then I'm also going to be using the Cheekathon palette again for my blush, and I'm going to be using Dandelion. It's a really, really soft, beautiful blush, and I'm going to be using the Sephora 59 brush. It's just a precision powder brush, and it works really well for this application. I kind of just smile so the apples of my cheeks show because I don't want too much product. So if you dance a little while you're doing your blush, but make sure you put it on and just blend it out. Again, when you're done doing this, use the duo fiber brush and blend that blush out so you have no harsh lines. Next, I'm going to go in and highlight my cheeks, and I'm using first the Sephora Radiant Luminizing Drops in Morning Light Champagne. These are amazing. They are a total dupe for the Benefit WhatsApp. They are really, really pigmented and really, really smooth. So I just use my fingers and dab them lightly on the upper parts of my cheekbones, because I am going to go over this with a powder, but it gives it a beautiful finish, and I think it makes your powder look even more amazing. It makes it stand out even more. So like I said, with my ring or middle finger, I just dab that out. And then for my highlights today, I'm going to go in with the Laura Geller Gilded Honey highlight. It is gorgeous. All of her highlights are gorgeous. I recommend them to everybody. They're beautiful, they're pigmented, and you just can't go wrong. I'm just going to be using a Morphe M501 brush for this, and then I also spray my brush with a little MAC Fix Plus. It just helps with the application, and it makes it even more pigmented, and you cannot go wrong with pigmented highlight on fleek, as most people would say. So I put this on my, exactly where I put the drops, on the top of my cheekbones and the apples of my cheeks. And then I also put a little bit on the tip of my nose. I love highlight, so much highlight, cannot go wrong. I love a dewy finish. Not sure what song was playing, but I was clearly into it, and I can't help but dance and sing along. Next, I'm going to go in and highlight underneath my brow bone, and to do this, I'm going to use the Zoeva Brow Line brush. It's 322 is the number, and I'm just going to be using the same concealer I used underneath my eyes. Just take a little bit on that brush, and I go right underneath the brow line. Just helps bring out your brows. It makes them more defined. Then I go in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette, and as you can tell, I couldn't decide which color I wanted to use first, so I do use two colors, and I'm not sure the names of those colors, but I will try and leave them down below for you guys. But I'm going to use these in my crease, and I'm just going to be using a Sigma E40 blending brush for this. And just make sure when you do this, you blend as much as you can. Blending, like I said before, is your best friend, so especially with eyeshadow, you want no harsh lines. And when you're using a crease color that has a little bit more pigment to it, like these, you want to make sure you blend. Then I'm going to be using the almighty Morphe 350 palette. If you do not have this palette, you should go get it. They now make it in a matte, all matte palette and an all shimmer palette. This is the original. It has shimmer and matte colors in it. The colors don't have names, so I can't tell you what the names are, but I am going to point to each color that I use. I'm just going to use the same E40 brush to go over where I already did and just blend some more. This color was a little bit more taupey and skin colored, so it did blend it out really beautifully. Then I'm going to go in with a Zoeva Petite crease brush, and I believe the number is 231. Zoeva's brushes are amazing, guys. Zoeva, Sigma, Morphe, you can't go wrong. Morphe is going to be your most cost-effective brush, but Zoeva and Sigma are also amazing brushes. I'm just going to take this darker color and go in with my crease. Not too much, just a little bit. Define that crease. And I do pull a little bit out on the outer edges. I go back in with my E40 brush and just blend. Make sure that you have no harsh lines, always blend it out. And I'm going to go in with it's an F70 brush from Sigma. It's a concealer brush, but I love to use it to pat on shimmer shades or any kind of pigmented or eyeshadow that you want to use. And I just usually spray the brush with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus first and then use the shimmer shade. And then I'm patting this on. Don't try to rub this in or blend it in. You want to pat this onto your eyes and get as much pigment as you possibly can. This is another brush that is similar to the F70 brush. This one is from Zoeva and I don't know the name, so I will link it down below for you guys, but it's the same kind of brush. And I'm just going in with a different pigmented shimmer shade and going over where I already went, kind of in the middle as well. Pat that color out. Again, never blend it, just pat it out. Get that pigment on there as much as possible. I'm only putting this on the inner corner and the middle of my eye. This doesn't go above the crease and it doesn't go into the outer edge. Just using that same F70 brush again. using another shimmer shade to go underneath my brow bone and highlight that area. You can use any brush for this, but anything that you kind of want to pat that color in. Back in with the E40 brush and just blend that out so you don't have any harsh lines and you don't bring that shimmer shade down too low. Next, lashes, and I'm using Salon Perfect Demi Wispy Lashes. You can get them at Walmart. Walmart is the only place you can get the Salon Perfect Lash. They're a dupe for the Ardell Wispy Lashes. And what do you know, they're already on. Next I'm going to go in with a flat definer brush. I'm not sure the number on this one. It is a Sigma brush. I will leave it down below for you. It's just a flat definer brush. And I take that same crease color I used and I go underneath my eyes with it. You want to push this into your lash line as much as possible, a dark color. And then I always blend it out with the crease color, or like the first color you used. You always want to blend it out with that. And make funny faces while you do it. Then I just use a little bit of the shimmer shade I used for my brow bone on the inner corner of my eye to brighten it up. And then last but not least, I'm going to go in with my lip colors. This is a Lorac pencil. I'm not sure the shade. I will leave it down below for you guys. I couldn't find it in my beauty room this morning. I'm just going to line my lips with this color. It's a really pretty bold berry color. This is my go-to everyday look, but I don't usually do a bold lip, but today I wanted something a little more fun and out there. So I'm just going to line my lips with this and then fill them in with the liquid lipstick I chose. It is a bold berry color as well. Not the exact same color, but that is going to kind of provide an ombre lip color. Last but not least, I'm going to fill in my lips with this Tarrte liquid lipstick. It is going to give it a kind of ombre look. I'm not sure of the name, so I will leave it down below for you guys. But this is pretty much going to be it for the video. This is my first video, so I hope you guys loved it. Thank you so much for watching. If you did love it, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe down below so you can follow along on my journey. Thanks so much for watching.